wanted to give kind of a big update, big in the sense that this is something new that I haven't tried or I haven't thought about doing with this channel before. So this channel is not really geared towards activism or campaigning for animal rights, anything like that. However, at the same time, scientifically speaking, it's imperative that we look at animal conservation. And the long-tailed macaques were very recently, in the past couple of years, listed as endangered species. And a lot of people don't understand that because they see tons of videos of long-tailed macaques in places like Bali or Cambodia or Vietnam with the monkeys just running around and by the hundreds and swarming over tourists. And it looks like, when you watch those kind of videos, it looks like the long-tailed macaques are thriving in massive numbers, like there's not a problem because there's just too many of them. But that's a little bit of a misnomer, actually a lot of bit of a weird perspective, because what ends up happening is you're seeing videos of places where the long-tailed macaques are actually congregating, and they're congregating around people because people feed them, which draws in more and more population. And at the same time as you're seeing videos like that, what you're not seeing, what would be harder to show in a video, is the fact that the habitat, natural habitat for long-tailed macaques is shrinking at a very rapid pace. And then coupled with that is a severe uptick since the beginning of the pandemic back in 2019 and then going into 2020 of long-tailed macaques being removed from the wild, especially here in Southeast Asia, to be used in biomedical research. So this becomes a much more complicated issue. So what I've decided to do using my channel is to start inviting people that have a lot more expertise. Even though I've been watching and observing these monkeys for 3 years and I have some schooling about primatology and anthropology, I never claimed to be an actual expert when it comes to long-tailed macaque. And there are people out there that have devoted their entire careers to the species. And so in the next couple of months, very rapidly, I'm going to start to feature different scientists and researchers who have been working with long-tailed macaques for many, many years in many different countries. So you won't just be seeing Western scientists, you'll see scientists and researchers that come from Southeast Asia or India that are capable of speaking about the local community and its impact on conservation of the long-tailed macaque. So that's really exciting. It's a bit challenging because I'm trying to wrangle in all these people from all these different areas and time zones, some big name people, some people maybe that are lesser known, but all of these people are going to bring to the table a perspective and a vast repertoire of knowledge that's going to really help give a clear picture of what's happening with long-tailed macaques. So just to recap that part of it, there's one more big announcement coming up. The long-tailed macaque populations are on the decline, and the IUCN has red listed them, and they're basically endangered species, and now being reevaluated to see just how poorly they're doing in terms of loss of their species. And I can tell you from living here in Indonesia that, with rapid advancement of development and people needing homes and new motorways and all the stuff that goes into infrastructure supporting the human population, the long-tailed macaque population is definitely being decimated by this. So we're going to look at that deeper with more expertise and people coming on board to make videos that are not advocating in an animal rights sort of way, but more instructional, more educational, so we can all get on the same page about the facts of long-tailed macaques and conservation of long-tailed macaques. I will be inviting organizations like the Long-Tailed Macaque Project, Jane Goodall Institute, locally here, the Indonesian Animal Rescue, Jakarta Area or Jakarta Animal Aid Network, and the Sumatra Wildlife Center These organizations, I'll be reaching out to them, and hopefully they'll come on board and do bits of educational video that we'll put here on the Nature Aware channel. And then additionally, a few people that are citizen scientists that I know, like myself, that go out as a hobby, as a structured hobby, to go out and observe macaques, not just long-tailed macaques, but some of them in Vietnam, or observing pigtail macaque, long-tailed macaque, langurs. So, primates in general, small primates. And I'm going to have those people talk about what they're seeing, so that it's no longer just me saying, yeah, I go to this park in North Jakarta and I look at Troop Bravo and 25 monkeys, so that you're getting a wider perspective. So the second big announcement that moving forward that I would like to do is I want to connect more to the natural world, because it's not just one species. You're never just fighting to save long-tailed macaques, or you're never just hoping to have a better conservation of one species of wildlife. They're all connected. And when you talk about ecosystems and habitat, and the ecology that goes into the lives of these animals, like people tend to forget, long-tailed macaques are primary seed dispersers. They're integral in their ecosystem for helping to keep the trees and the plants healthy. Think of them as like the big furry bumblebees that go around helping to propagate new trees, fruit trees, and what have you. And that's critically important to ecosystems. So it's all connected. And then you have the water and the health of the water and the animals that share those environments. And I'm going to start to spread that out a little bit more. My previous life, before I retired, I was a career journalist, and then a documentary filmmaker, a much acclaimed documentary filmmaker. And I'm going to revisit a lot of the footage and the animals that I've studied before. So we're going to see killer whales, we're going to see harbor seals, we're going to see sea lions, California sea otters or southern sea otters, sea turtles from around the world, African elephants, the Chinese giant panda, Costa Rican sloths. I mean, you're going to see a lot of animals, a lot of footage come into it. And we're going to kind of update where these animals are, because since doing documentaries on them years ago, or writing books, I've authored 4 books on ecology and endangered species. Since those things have come out, some things have declined and some things have steadied, and a very few things have gone up. So I'm going to really kind of bring that into a fresh new perspective, and hopefully reach new people, to kind of gather that whole picture together, because I am very much in favor of the idea of holistically looking at nature. That's why I call this Rick Wood's Nature Aware, because Nature Aware is a concept of being aware that no matter where you are, even if you're in a city like I am of 11 million people, there's nature all around you. Nature surrounds you. You live endemically with nature. So you have the animals that maybe you don't think of as being nature, like the rats in the sewer or the lizards on the wall, but they're all part of an ecosystem that we share. And then there's other animals like birds that we see every day. Here, the lawak, or the palm civet, which is an amazing creature. Bats at nighttime. I see bats every night here. The monkeys that live in urban Jakarta, the stray cats, we're talking about animals everywhere. And so, nature aware is the concept of being aware of that, and being aware of yourself within the context of being in an ecosystem and sharing it with those animals. So that's where we are. The 2 big announcements. Nothing changes with the Troop Bravo updates. Every time I go for an observation, you can expect to see live broadcast and a resulting video update of how they're doing. And right now, Troop Bravo of North Jakarta and the mangrove, those 25 monkeys are doing really well. We saved them from being eradicated a year and a half ago. They were being trapped. They wanted to be, the local government wanted them removed. I partnered with some organizations. We got out there, and not only did we stop that situation from happening, but we came up with a tenable plan locally by the local community, not by myself or any Western people, but but locally within the forestry division, the local government, the park department, they all came up with a tenable plan to explore other options, and they did an amazing job of partial sterilization to reduce the population down. So they did a chemical sterilization, not an invasive surgery, and they were able to sterilize 7 of the macaques, the troop bravo, and that did reduce enough of the numbers to where it's going to kind of help keep the population down. And then at the same time, they invested a lot of effort, and organizations came forward to create signage, interpretive signage, to teach people more about how to coexist with the monkeys. And I'm very pleased to say that in the past year, the incidence of aggressive behavior or human conflict between the macaques and the visitors to the park dropped almost completely out. It's a real success story, and I'll actually be talking about it. There's an upcoming symposium in Medan, which is in Sumatra. In November, it's APS, the Asian Primate Symposium, and I will be there hopefully to speak, but if not to speak, at least to attend. And if I get a chance to speak, I'll be talking about the absolute success story of Troop Bravo and how communities can replicate that whole thing on saving the monkeys. So those are the announcements. I'm so glad you guys tuned in, and everybody take care. I'm in the process right now of cutting another video from the last observation. I have a new camera, so I was able to get some video with a new camera I want to show you guys. And yeah, I'll be headed back out to the monkeys week after next, spending a few more hours with them as I do every other week. Everybody take care. I'll see ya.